Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're getting straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humble on the daily time frame. I mentioned yesterday that Humble was poised for a bounce. We got that bounce today up 20%, but I do want to be objective with my analysis. Even though I am a big bull on Humble, we did see this bounce with relatively low volume compared to our last couple trading days. And so when you see something like this could simply just be a sympathy bounce. So if we look at our RSI, we were oversold on our RSI. We are starting to make our way up. You can see our MACD is still far from our signal line, so we are not anticipating a reversal just yet. Ultimately, as long as our price action is below this uptrend line, we are going to maintain a bearish outlook on Humble in the short term. We need the price action above this point if we want to see our next move up. If we continue to trade below this level, we are not going to get the moves that we want. I still believe we have a slight gap to fill here at around 244 that I would love to see happen sometime this week. If we can get back up above this point and hold this level of support, that would be extremely bullish price action, and that would be putting a bottom in right here on Humble. Overall, I'm extremely bullish on Humble in the long term. We are holding this level of support at $1.33 very nicely, and I think this is a very strong level of support just because this coincides with the first peak of our run up. And so as long as we are above this point, I am still bullish, but I want to be above this uptrend line just so we know that we are still intact with our uptrend. I do want to mention that Brian Foote himself said that he is not going to sell any of his preferred shares until after 2022. So that is 2 more years that he said he will not be selling a single share. And keep in mind, he owns 45% of those preferred shares. And so if you have your CEO saying that he's not going to sell a single share, that should tell you how hard he's going to work to make this company succeed and how much faith you should put into him. And so when you have a CEO putting his money where his mouth is, that's exactly what you want to see. You know Brian Foote is going to work hard for this company to get it as high as it possibly can go. And I believe in the management team of Humble. And so overall, any weakness in share price is a buying opportunity. And I will continue to say that because I am a firm believer in this stock. Next stock of the day, we're looking at Social Life Network on the daily time frame. And so we had extremely bullish price action today. We were up 36%. But we could be at the beginning of a reversal. And the reason I say that is if we look at our MACD looks extremely nice right now. It looks like we are going to get a crossover if we get a green day tomorrow. Our RSI is still only at a 50, so we still have a lot more room to the upside. You can see we've seen a bit of accumulation the last couple days. And on a technical level, we held our support on our uptrend line very nicely. I think this is as picturesque as you will get it. And so if I zoom this in on the hourly time frame just to show you guys exactly how our price action reacted, we got rejected by resistance and then we just bled right back down. But you can see relative to what we saw today, we did not really see that much selling. This was our RSI cooling off a little bit. So our next move here in WDLF is to break this level of resistance. If we get a break of this level and we get a back test, we will be off to the races. And so I'm hoping we see that continue out tomorrow, or else we will continue to trade out in this wedge, which does expire here on May 14th. And so this could have just been a simple run up and now we go right back down. And so overall with WDLF, as long as we are in this channel, we are still buying up anytime we get to any support levels, but we are really looking for this break of resistance. Once we get this break, we are off to the races, and that is when I think we will start to get to our price targets. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN on the daily time frame. So we were up about 9% today, and I did end up buying more shares here, which I've been doing pretty much every day for the last couple weeks. We held this level of support here at 0.0075 very nicely. You can see the price action right here is now at a level of resistance. So our next level here with IGEN is to break past this level of resistance that we have here at 0.0087. if we look at all of our indicators, you can see we've seen extraordinary accumulation at these levels. We are very close to our signal line, so any sort of big jump in volume will cross over our MACD to the upside. You can see our RSI is starting to peel up a little bit. So everything right now on IGEN looks extremely nice. Again, I continue to buy this stock. I have my personal price targets that I have for this position, and overall I like the fundamentals of this company. And so what we'd love to see now with IGEN is to get back into this upward channel right now, because we are sitting right below. And so that is the next step here for IGEN. Next stock of the day, looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. And again, slow and steady. We are up 2%, but we are still holding this level of support very nicely. We have our MACD crossover, so everything still looks very nice here on SEGI. And I do expect this to continue to trade higher in the medium to long term. This chart looks very nice in my opinion. And so we could see SEGI hover around this line till about June 17th, until we start to actually see a larger move to the upside. And so overall with SEGI, I think these are very nice levels to be accumulating and buying up. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the daily time frame. And so even though we were up 6%, we are still below a very crucial level that I want ALYI above. If you look at our MACD, we have no real signals of any sort of crossover. We still have some distribution going on, and our RSI could still potentially go lower. So overall with ALYI, we are still patiently waiting. Next stock of the day, looking at MJNA on the daily time frame. So up 2.57%, still below our key level of resistance. So we are still just trading sideways. If we look at our MACD, this is extremely bullish. So if we get a green day tomorrow and we break past this level of resistance, I think MJNA is going to explode in May. And I believe this may be a stock to look at if you are in trading and you are trying to make money. So if we get that green day tomorrow and we get this crossover, I think MJNA is going to be a solid play for the short term. Next stock of the day, looking at HYSR on the daily time frame. So HYSR actually found a nice bottom on its 200-day SMA. You can see we are on an uptrend right now, when we actually had very nice price action on this level of support. So this is actually extremely nice to see here for HYSR. Our MACD actually looks very nice right now. We had a crossover, but it looks like we might be crossing back to the upside. We've had some nice accumulation, and although I am not personally in HYSR and I don't plan on getting into HYSR, this was very nice price action to have if you are a shareholder or if you are in for a swing play. Seems like this was a very, very nice day, up 25% in HYSR. Next stock of the day, looking at ACDC on the daily time frame. So we're flat here on ACDC. You can see our MACD and signal line are almost parallel here. We are still within this pattern, so we still expect ACDC to break this. And so this pattern still goes out until about April 26th. So I do expect us to trade. As long as we're above this uptrend line, ACDC will make a move to the upside. But until then, we are just going to wait and watch and see what happens here in ACDC. Next stock of the day, we're looking at STAF on the daily time frame. So STAF was flat today, but we could be starting to find a bottom here. We have our RSI that is still oversold, and we did have a nice bullish hammer close, and so this could be a sign of a reversal. Our MACD is still lingering below our signal line, so we would love to see this slowly start to creep up, but I do think we are putting in a short-term bottom here in STAF, and I think this is going to be a strong candidate for a swing play. Next stock of the day, we're looking at High Tide on the daily time frame. So again, we are flat here also on High Tide, still trading in our flag. Nothing really crazy going on here. I'll continue to mention it. There is this gap here at 32 cents that every investor in High Tide should be aware of, just because if we get to these levels, don't be scared out of your position, because this is going to be a very nice buying opportunity in the long run. And so if we do get to this point, just make sure you have some dry powder available to average down. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SNDL on the daily time frame. And so overall, SNDL actually looks very nice as well. We are very nicely tight with our signal line. We could have had a bottom here on SNDL right here, and we could be making our way up, but we did get rejected by resistance. And so overall with SNDL, we want to be above this uptrend line. That is when we are the most confident in SNDL, but until we are still going to wait and watch and see what happens here with SNDL. But any sort of good news and couple green days should get our MACD to cross over, and it should get us to a point where we get back above hour uptrend line. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update on our explosive penny stock watch list. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.